You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no
Flats this time. That's a touchdown just off the bat.
You've hit your fury and kept it in. But it's time now you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix.
Welcome here to week 3, Allen Hilliard Sports and the weekly coaches show here. We got some high school coach interviews. We're going to talk about some college football here as the regular season has ended. And then we'll have some other stuff we'll talk about, football playoffs. And we can talk about some Arkansas football playoffs here. But we'll be back a little bit later. Be sure to tune in. We'll be back after this message.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
Security Bank of Pulaski County, with 2 convenient locations in Waynesville and St. Robert, Missouri, is a proud supporter of the Waynesville Tigers and the Lady Tigers athletics, including all their sports and activities. Security Bank is a member FDIC equal housing home lender. They can provide home loans, auto loans, whatever type of loan you need, and whatever support you need, give Security Bank a call or visit them in Waynesville, St. Robert, Missouri. So starting out in our football coverage here, we're going to have our 8-man football first. Worth County will face Rockport in the state championship on December 4th. And in Class 1, Putnam County will face Tipton on December 5th at 3 p.m. St. Pius out of Festus will face Blair Oaks in the Class 2 state championship on December 6th at 3 p.m. Post Pawn Shop is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and all the area schools, including the Frisco League basketball tournament. Be sure to visit them down by the front gate of Fort Leonard Wood. The Bank of Crocker, since 1911, has been in Pulaski County and the surrounding area for many years. They have home loans, auto loans, whatever loans you need, give them a call. They are member FDIC and the equal housing home lender.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
And in Class 4, Seneca and Lift for Life will play at 11 a.m. on December 5th. Kearney will return to the state title game. They'll face either St. Mary's or Hannibal. That game had issues due to weather. It is expected to be played today, depending on the location there. So we'll put an update in the description of the winner of that. But the winner of that game will play on December 5th. In Class 5, Putnam County and Carthage will face off on December 5th at 7 p.m. for the night game. And in Class 6, Nixa, in a snowy football game up in St. Louis, picked up a 45-0 victory over Pattonville. They will face Lee Summit, who won a close victory over Jackson in the state championship game. That'll be December 6th at 7 p.m. Note, all the state championship games will be held at the Missouri Western University, I believe is what they call it up there, but in St. Joseph, Missouri. So, if you're looking for some great football next week, that is where to go. Brian Borum of Cross Creek Realty is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Crocker Lions, as well as all the other area Frisco League teams in this part of Missouri. Be sure to check him out at Cross Creek Realty for all your home needs, whether it be selling a house or looking for a house. They have homes to sell and homes to buy. Rennie Tire Pro is your local tire shop in the Licking area. Be sure to check them out for whether it be just changing a tire, buying a set of new tires, small auto repair. Check out Rennie Tire in Licking, Missouri. Rennie Pharmacy is a proud supporter of the Licking Wildcats and Lady Wildcats this year. Be sure to check them out for all your pharmacy needs in Licking, Missouri. The Bank of Iberia is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Waynesville and Iberia communities, along with all the other Frisco League teams in the area. Be sure to give them a call. They are member FDIC, Equal Home Housing Lender, 2 locations, Waynesville and Iberia. And we're going to have a special features from the Missouri Sports Network of a few football interviews of the state semifinals.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented by the Bank of Billings, the oldest bank in Christian County. Go to Tipton High School now and welcome in Tipton head football coach William Duke. Coach, thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Obviously a friend of the show, been on several times, but Coach, we were touting, the last couple of weeks that that Marionville Thayer game may be a state championship game, and obviously it wasn't. You get a 22-14 win over a very good Thayer team. Talk to us about that game.
Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it. Being a friend of the show is special, man. I really enjoyed that. The Thayer game was a special game. It was great to see all the support we had from administration to get down there. It was about a 4-hour bus ride, and all of the parents and community members and alumni who came together to, ease that trip a little bit with food and travel expenses and stuff like that. And then the kids, what we told them is so many people came to help you through this. Really, all you need to do is focus on playing. And that's what they did, and I couldn't be more proud of them. You pick a kid on our roster, and they worked their tail off all week to get to that spot. Whether they were a starter or a scout team kid, a freshman that's in his first year playing, they all worked extremely hard, and they were really, really focused to get there. So, it was fun to watch.
Obviously a defensive struggle, but tell us about the game just in general, and it, from the defensive point of view, and then you guys were able to push across, at 22-14. It was the final there, but it never really was over until the final gun went off.
It wasn't. We received and had a little bit of a setback by throwing an interception right away, but the field conditions were pretty tough. They were very, very wet. But none of our players ever said anything about it. They just kept playing, and we told them that Thayer was going to be a very physical football team. You could see it on tape. You could see it in the game, in the scout films that we watched. And I didn't see anybody back away from being physical. I saw them just continue to support and communicate with their teammates and get going. That front D line with Tyler Rivera and Ben Beshin and Chance and Petrie and Sam Duke, they all just got after it over and over and over again. And a lot of times being the smaller guy. But our linebackers would fill, they would wrap up, our safeties were coming downhill, the corners were making sure that they had communication before the play to know what to do. It was really something to watch. And Thayer is a big physical football team, man. I think their only loss was to a team who played for the district title in Class 3 in Mountain Grove. So they were doing some really good things.
Yeah, coming out of that SCA, they've always been a big physical team. I've got to ask you this. Had you or anybody on your team ever been to Thayer?
I had not been to Thayer. Funny enough, we were driving home from Arkansas this summer and drove right past Thayer, and I was like, well, I wonder if we might play here this year. But Tipton has played Thayer, and Thayer has been kind of they've been kind of the people who have ended Tipton's season a couple of times. So I did have some alumni reach out to me and just say, hey, thank you. That was something I had worried about or reminisced about for a while.
Yeah, we had earlier in the show, we had Coach Ackland on from Mountain View Liberty, and he was a player, and then and Lamar had ended their season 7 times in a row, and they were able to get off, kind of, ding dong, the witch is dead, so to speak, but had to be exciting for your kids and your community to get that victory.
100%. Yeah, it was very, very special. When we look at that and we celebrated, I could tell the kids were happy. I could also tell they were wore out because they didn't talk on the bus ride.
Very good.
There wasn't a lot of hooping and hollering. They were just wore out.
Now you've got a West Platte team. Tell us a little bit about what you know about West Platte and what you're going to have to do to come out on top, and that is actually at home for you guys. So tell us a little bit about that.
West Platte is a very good, physical, fast football team. They are different than Thayer in the sense that they're not putting 3 running backs in the backfield and running downhill at you, but they're still running option principles and ISO principles. The difference is they're really, really fast and they're very confident with what they do. And at any point in time, they could throw the deep ball and complete it. When you watch how much they're completing that, it's incredible how much they're completing it.
Is there a team on your schedule that you could compare West Platte to, that after seeing them on film, are there teams a team that you've played this year?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how to do it at this time of year because you're going to get everybody's best game, right? I think that Fair Grove was in a lot of spread sets, just like West Platte, and they're every bit as good as they are. I think Skyline was in a lot of spread sets, and they have just as many, if not more, athletes than Skyline had, offensively, defensively. You could tell the kids are very confident in what they do. You could tell they're very athletic. I think they finished second in Class 2 boys track last year. And so they're good at what they do.
Coach, at what point do you kind of start looking at the weather outlook? Because right now it's rain with a higher near 42. The chance of precipitation is 90% right now. Are you looking at that and hoping it changes?
We talked to the kids about it. West Platte called and asked if we would move the game to Friday. Our kids would like to play on Saturday. We played a very physical football game last Saturday. Having a little bit of time to heal would be nice. Number 2 is semifinal Saturdays are a pretty special thing. Whether the sun is shining or it's raining, we can't control either of those. What we can only control is our attitude and effort and energy when we play. So, last year I thought the weather got to us a little bit when we went to Penny. We've certainly discussed that this year. I don't think that it will get to us this year, knock on wood, based on their mentality from last week, because the field conditions were tough last week. But we've looked at it, we've acknowledged it, but we understand we can't change it.
Again, we're visiting with Tipton Cardinals head football coach William Duke. And Coach, if at 3 o'clock on Saturday, when I'm reading off the scores on our live football scoreboard show, and I read that Tipton defeated West Platte, what are 1 or 2 stats that you're going to be able to tell me, hey, this is why we won this game? Whether it's turnovers, time possession, what are 2 things stat-wise that you're looking at the most?
Well, we have to have ball security. We have to definitely protect the football. If it's going to be wet, we got to protect the football. You also have to control the line of scrimmage and do your job. Anytime you're playing an option team, you have to do what you're supposed to do. That doesn't mean don't go fast. It doesn't mean go slow. It just means if you're supposed to do a job, that's what you do, so that it doesn't put somebody else in a position where they feel like they have to do too much. So securing the football, controlling the line of scrimmage, and taking the football away from them. They've been in a couple games this year that were 40-30, 33-22, stuff like that, and they've been behind a couple times, and they never ever showed any kind of like give up or let it go. So I know they're going to keep fighting.
Again, it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's always good to be practicing over Thanksgiving weekend. And Coach, do you have any cooking responsibilities in your house with regards to the feast?
I used to, but when we moved to Tipton here, the Catholic Church St. Andrews that I'm a member of has this beautiful all-day celebration, food, an auction, just spending time with the community. So now my cooking thing is I go pick up the food.
Very good. And if I'm following you through that buffet line, what are you saving room on your plate for? What's your go-to side dish?
Well, you're gonna think this is funny, but my go-to side dish is gonna be pumpkin pie.
No.
I'm gonna get some stuff to eat, but I'm probably, as I get older, gonna limit the stuff that I'm eating there so I can have more pie.
Outstanding. And also with it being Thanksgiving, reflect, what are you reflecting on, whether it be this year or maybe even this week or your life, that things that you are thankful for?
Well, first and foremost, a relationship with Christ. I'm thankful for that every single day. I don't know where I would be without it, to be honest with you. And there's times that gets tough, and there's times that you doubt that you're doing the right thing, or that relationship is what it should be, or that your belief sometimes wanders, and I got to get better at that. So first and foremost, I'm thankful for that. My family, they're always supporting me no matter what I do or how crazy I sound. My mother recently kicked cancer's rear end, so I'm very happy for that. And then this community, not just my family and my parents and everybody else, but this team and this community just means the world to me. And if I could get to practice any sooner, I would. It's just a great part of my day.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, you've been very generous with your time, a friend of the show, and hey, go out and get another victory, and we'll do this again next week.
It sounds great, Coach. God bless.
Hey, God bless. Bye-bye. You're listening to Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com. It's high school game day. Countdown to kickoff. We'll be back after this.
Hilliard Sports would like to thank the Iowa Woo this year for allowing me to be their provider of live broadcasting services during their games up in Waterloo, Iowa. Be sure to check them out next season on the Arena League, the Iowa Woo.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
The Dixon Athletic Booster Club is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Dixon community, as well as the Dixon athletic programs. Be sure to join the Booster Club. All the money goes to help support the Dixon athletes in the community, whether it be high school, middle school, baseball, basketball, whatever it is. Check out the Dixon Booster Club on Facebook to become a member. $200 to be a corporate sponsor on the video board in the gym.
Please be joined now by Jackson Indians head football coach Ryan Nesbitt. Coach Nesbitt, friend of the show, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Guy. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, Coach. An outstanding season at this point. 12-0 is the record. And first off, talk a little bit about this last week's game with CBC, a 45-42 win. Knew probably it was going to be high scoring coming in, but tell us about the victory.
Yeah, honestly, going into it, I wasn't sure how the game was going to play out. I didn't know if both defenses would be a little bit better than what people expected, or how the flow was going to be. Certainly didn't have us jumping out quite like we did in the bingo card, but our kids did a tremendous job of preparing. obviously playing at home, huge turnout from our community, our fans, students. So it was a big time win for not only our program but community as well.
Tell us a little bit about the offensive play. Obviously, the offensive line, and you got great quarterback play as well. Tell us a little bit about those guys.
Yeah, we had several kids individually play incredibly well, but quarterback play was really important. Drew Parsons played incredibly well. He finished the day 15 of 23 for 256 and 3 touchdowns. Ran it 21 times for 130 net and a touchdown there as well. So he played well. Offensive line did a good job. We ran for 200, threw for again 256. So offense played incredibly well.
Now you got to travel to Lee Summit, which I still to this day don't understand with Pattonville being 110 miles away from you and Lee Summit being 350 miles away from you. But they're 8-4. What do you know about Lee Summit?
One, they're as hot as anybody right now in Missouri. They run the heck out of the football. They've got tremendous athletes carrying it. They're big, athletic, strong, and tough up front. And they play good defense. And that's a recipe for winning games at any level, but certainly at the high school level. Running the ball and playing good defense. So, it's for us. It was a good win last week, but right back to 0-0. Just like anybody else trying to get to 1-0, and that process of preparation all over again.
The weather, as you look at the weather, rain and low 40s, temperature wise, is that a situation you've got to play in this year, or is this going to be your first time playing in the rain and 40 degrees?
We've had temps, probably have had temps and combined precipitation, but I think the moisture will have minimal impact. I think the temps, kids will feel that. Certainly the wind will be a factor. It's a north-south field. And, so you'll see that play a little bit of impact. But all in all, it's playoff football, and I think both clubs will be excited to play.
When I go on the air for our live football show at 3 o'clock and I see that Jackson defeated Lee Summit, what's one or two stats that you're going to be able to point at to say, hey, this is why we won this football game, is because of right here. We controlled this, or we didn't turn it over. What are one or two stats?
I think the same stats that you look at weekly, probably just about any ball club looks at, and that's rushing stat and turnover takeaway battle. So we'll have to continue to do a good job there and take care of the football and the elements.
Again, we're visiting with Ryan Nesbitt, the head football coach for the Jackson Indians, as they prepare to travel to Lee Summit here in the state semifinal game. Coach, what are your travel plans? When are you leaving? You going up a day early or 2 days early?
Yeah, we'll leave Friday morning, stay in a hotel overnight, and get into the process. So, we've talked to our kids, and thankfully, we've had a really mature group, and they've been so fun to coach this year. And, so I think distractions will be minimal, and all in all, it'll be about the ball game on Saturday at 1.
Very good, Coach. Now it's Thanksgiving week, and it's always good to be playing during Thanksgiving because you're in the Final Four at least in state football action. Do you have a go-to? Like, what's your favorite side dish at Thanksgiving meal?
One, it's an absolute blessing to still be practicing. I've been one of those guys that have jealously looked at other programs and the Thanksgiving Day pictures and dreamed of what that'd be like. So excited to have one this year, and very appreciative of that. But I'd say a side dish, I've evolved over the years, and I've become a fan of stuffing, where I think as a young kid, stuffing was not my fave. So I'm a big stuffing guy now.
Very good. Well, Coach, hey, congratulations on reaching this point of the season. And hey, go out and win this one, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bet. Thanks. Appreciate you having me on.
You bet. Ryan Nesbitt, Jackson Indians. We'll be back after these messages.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing we do to keep us focused.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to keep your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Progressive Ozark Bank in Licking, Missouri is a supporter of the Licking Wildcats and Lady Wildcats athletics, including this Frisco League tournament for the boys and the girls, and the district tournament. Thank you, Progressive Ozark Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing and lender. Town and Country Bank is also a supporter of the Licking Wildcats and Lady Wildcats, along with other activities in the Licking area and Texas County. Be sure to stop by, give them a call, member FDIC, for all your banking needs. Town and Country Bank in Licking, Missouri. So in college football this week, we had a busy one. It was Utah defeating Kansas in Big 12 action. Ole Miss defeating Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, 31-19. Georgia defeating a close one against Georgia Tech, 16-9. It was rivalry week in the SEC. Texas defeating Texas A&M, giving them their first loss and knocking them out of the college, or not out of the SEC championship. They'll still be in the college football playoff. Indiana 56-3 over Purdue. Arizona defeating Arizona State 23-7, mudding up whatever conference mess-ups that's going to happen. Ohio State defeating Michigan for the first time in a long time, I think 5 years, 27-9. That game on the road. 38-7, Miami over Pittsburgh. And then Texas Tech defeating West Virginia 49-0 in Big 12 action. They're the number 5 team in the country. UCF losing to BYU in Utah. 41-21 was BYU's score. Oregon 26-14 over Washington. Oregon number 6. Oklahoma 17-13. Vanderbilt, that's over LSU. Vanderbilt 45-24 over Tennessee to be the Tennessee State champion, I guess. Virginia 27-7 over Virginia Tech, giving them a possibility of going to the ACC championship game. USC 29-10 over UCLA. And number 10 Alabama 27-20 over Auburn in the Egg Bowl. The Iron Bowl, not the Egg Bowl. And 24 Tulane over Charlotte, 27-0. And then California defeating number 21 SMU to do some sort of mess up of everybody. And also, Missouri State fell in a close ball game, but they are bowl eligible this year now. They officially were announced that they will be considered for a bowl game first year in the Division I level here, FBS instead of FCS. And also, forgot Notre Dame defeating Stanford 49-20. But that is your update on the big college football scores. And we will look back. We'll have a special episode later this week of the projected people in the college football playoffs, along with we'll have an update of the Frisco League tournament. Be sure to join us for that. That'll be a bonus episode, so we will see you then. Remember, all of our episodes officially come out on YouTube on Wednesdays, but they come out early on the podcast, so listen many ways. Thank you for joining me on Allen Hilliard Sports. Come visit the downtown service station in Waynesville, Missouri. They have been there for many years. Used to be the Schultz service station, but they do maintenance. You can get gas. They sell Route 66 merchandise. There are plenty things to do downtown. Be sure to stop there and visit the friendly staff. If you need a quick job done, they can take care of it. Or just stop in and say hi.
To the block and tackle the Mac Stack, a Dickey's barbecue pit game changer. Our signature mac and cheese topped with Dickey's quality slow smoked meats. And Dickey's delivers just in time for kickoff. Visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
Dickey's Barbecue is a proud supporter of the Newburgh Wolves and Lady Wolves, as well as the area schools and communities in Rolla. Among other areas they serve, be sure to check them out on Kings Highway. Enjoy Dickey's Barbecue, greatest in town. We're here with the Waynesville boys basketball coach, and you got quite a few of the same kids coming back this year. You got, I believe, Shelton, you've got Gonzalez and Black among the others that are also moving up there. So kind of how's it, I think your second year here, the head coach?
Yes.
So kind of how's that work upon last year since you got quite a few of the same kids?
Yeah, Alan, so we bring back 90% of our varsity minutes in Brandon Jackson, Jerome Shelton, Omar Gonzalez, Cody Black. And that's exciting to have those guys back that had some sort of experience either starting a varsity game last year or playing meaningful minutes for us. So we think that core group right there, Jaden Reynolds, that'll be a good group for us to be able to rely on when it comes time for us to get into some meaningful varsity basketball action. So, but year two has been good. I feel like it's not as much of a whirlwind as it was last year. At times last year, we felt a little bit overwhelmed as a staff just trying to find our way around all the new changes. But this year has been, we know what to expect. So it's been a little bit more streamlined, I guess you could say. So.
All right, and your schedule is basically the same as last year. Not a lot has changed on it. So how do you, knowing what your schedule is from last year, a lot of the teams are, very competitive. So, your schedule's fairly going to be about what are you expecting it to be like last year? Are you expecting an improvement over last year on some of the tournaments and games?
Well, we did pick up the Pocahontas Classic down in Arkansas. We're going to go see Coach Pills playing Rivercrest and Mammoth Springs down there December 12th and 13th. We also picked up Branson this year for an out-of-conference game. They're going to be challenging. But I feel like our out-of-conference schedule and our conference schedule is very tough. We picked up Hazelwood East and Northwest Cedar Hill. So we're bringing down two other Class 6 teams for our Route 66 shootout. And then the COC conference is just tough. I mean, from top to bottom, I don't think that there's really a team that you can overlook. Neosho is going to be tough. Lebanon's tough. Central, Ozark, Nixa, Kickapoo. Those are all really tough teams. Willard, Carthage. And those games are on the road as well. So we'll bring Kickapoo home this year. And we'll bring Central's away. I'm trying to think of our home away games here. Sorry, I don't have a schedule in front of me. But it's just a brutal schedule. But I feel like with these year two guys, guys that are now juniors, seniors, we're not really relying on sophomores to try and get it done. I think that we should be a little bit more competitive. So.
All right, and then starting out, your Jamboree is on Thursday of the Jamboree week, and that will be up at Webster Groves, very similar to last year.
Yeah, DeSmet and Principia come up, as well as Webster Groves. There's a lot of talent in that gym on that night. There's a lot of high-caliber basketball that's being played. We like to go figure out where we're at pretty quick when we go up there. Last year we learned a lot about ourselves, and we were able to come back and change up some of our practice routines and focus on areas of weakness and improve on areas of strength. So we're really looking forward to going back up there again and seeing what we're made of pretty quick, and then making those adjustments before we get the season started.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Good luck in the Jamboree. And where do you start your season at?
So we will kick off December 2nd at home against Neosho. So we're going to have a COC game right off the bat, East versus West. So that'll be a good time.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Coach. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
And we are here. I think I was muted that whole time, but didn't miss anything. Anyways, we're here with Coach Snicker, the Waynesville girls coach now. And Coach Snicker, kind of how is it coming back? I know, since you last coach, we did add a three-point line.
Well, I mean, I played when there was no three-point line, but we've had a three-point line ever since I coached. So, but that's a good one, though. I say the girls, our effort and our energy was good tonight for the first game. We still have to knock the rust off of some stuff from not being in the gym but for 9 practices, before the jamboree. So I think we have some positive stuff that we saw, and there's some stuff that we knew we had to work on. We haven't had fully time to fix, and so press break and those things are something that we still know we have to, still put a lot of emphasis on. So we'll get better this week.
All right, and then you have some returning starters there, and several of them shine from outside and playing some pretty good defense out there too. Some of the returning players, anyway.
Yeah, like I said, there was everybody I thought had good energy, great effort. Hustle was there, running up and down the floor. Just the little things of decision making and timing of shots. We still haven't talked a lot about shot selection. We do have a green light shooting program, and we haven't finished all of those and who has what shot selection to take. So there's still some roles to be established there. That will clean up some of the stuff that we had, but overall, we worked the ball around. We got some good shots, and like I said, the effort was there.
All right, and then you're coming off pretty much a football season, so you haven't really had much of a break, if anything. I think you went straight from football to basketball over a weekend.
Yeah, that's true, but I doubled up a couple nights too when we got to have our open gyms, with a couple hours a week, to work with the girls. On that, we try to do a lot of individual, development stuff. So the actual practice stuff just came right after football. So I had Saturday and Sunday, and then we got after it on Monday. So it was good. It's fun. It keeps me young,
All right. So looking at some of these opponents here, you've obviously been an administrator for a little while there, so you've been here to Rolla quite a bit. And now, how was it facing a Stillville team that maybe you haven't quite seen there? Now, you do recognize, obviously, the coach there.
Yeah, I recognize Gamble. I didn't know he was there at first. I didn't know anything really about Stillville. I know that the girls played them last year in the St. James tournament. Coach told me he thought they'd be in zone. We really hadn't gone over a bunch of zone stuff. So we kind of struggled in that second quarter when it came to that. Lived outside a little too much without, flashing in the high post and in the short corner, but we can fix those things. So it was good to see something different in a zone where we know, hey, all right, we got to work on some stuff with our zone offense and then pressing, and so that was good. Last time I've been to Rolla, really as a coach, was against Elias in the districts when I was at Osage as a coach for the boys. So that was at the old gym. So it's a nice atmosphere here with the new gym, and like I said, look forward to kind of finding out what we got to do with their pressure that they're going to put on us.
All right, any of the freshmen or some of the JV players from last year, any of them working their way up in the process, or is that something that you're still going through right now?
We're still trying to figure out. We're looking at who's fully on varsity, what our JV looks like, and our C team type of thing. But we do know that we got some younger girls some minutes tonight already to try to just kind of see, get them to see what it looks like at least. We had some good leadership out there from returners. Pleased with that. The more we get our body language to keep positive and keep keep trying to do the things of a portrait of a Tiger that we believe in with their leadership and positive thinking and hard work, resiliency, those things, and teamwork and respect. We'll keep growing throughout the year, so I'm pretty pleased of where we started and the direction that we're headed.
All right, and then schedule-wise here, you are in, again, the COC, a very tough conference there, and I don't know if Rolla's made theirs a whole lot easier. They have some Nixa on there too, and Marshfield, and they've added Elias, but you play quite a few of those teams yourself, and so how is coming in, coaching into the COC here that you've seen these teams, so you now get a chance to go on the other side of the court with them as a coach?
Yeah, we welcome the challenge. We talked about toughness and competitiveness, already at the beginning of the season, that we needed to be tough and we had to be able to compete and we had to work together. And so we're going to need all those things in the conference, and so we look forward to those challenges and see if we can get better each night. We started the Marshfield tournament with Marshfield, so that's going to be a challenge in itself, but that's the only way we're going to get better is to play good teams.
All right, appreciate it, Coach, and we will see you later. We're here with the Iberia coach, a Dixon native there, Coach Holzer.
Yes, sir.
So, Coach, kind of how's the Rangers looking this year?
We're young, and so we bring back 2 returning starters from last year, but everyone else that we've got has been filling up a step of what we've lost. So we lost 3 starters who equated about 50 points of our offense, and so we've got some experience, but most of the guys coming up are really young. So I think we're long, athletic, and we got to do all the things well that doesn't require skill, like toughness, effort. And so we're an exciting group. We're young, but I think they're ready to accept the challenge for that.
All right, and then you're getting ready for the Frisco League tournament, but you're also playing Tuscumbia here for a pre-Frisco League matchup, I guess.
Yep.
One of your very close neighbors, I guess.
Yeah.
So how's Tuscumbia matchup compared to, seeing the Frisco League teams as much as you do, or you've got some of your neighboring schools? We mentioned about St. Elizabeth here. Is that kind of a different style they play up here since they're a lot smaller schools, or is that more just, teams you're used to playing at this point?
Well, what makes this group a little different is that their offense kind of goes through their post play, to where a lot of other teams rely upon their guard play, and so it's different for this game because we have to really prioritize paint touches, second chance opportunities off offensive rebounds, to where other schools are a little more guard oriented, and where we have to close out the shooters a little harder. Depending on which guard it is, maybe sag back, maybe give them a step, or go at them. So this one's a little different because of their post play, where other towns rely upon speed and athleticism, and this one's a little more methodical.
All right, and then looking ahead into the Frisco League tournament, which started on, currently when this goes out, it'll be going on, but you'll see those Frisco League teams again, but you'll have some pretty tough competition again. The Dixon number 1 seed this year. Last year they were number 2. And then you also have Stoutland this year, who's actually ranked higher than they usually are, even though they're usually ranked lower, but they somehow still make the top 4 every season.
Right.
So how do you kind of prepare for those you get to know a lot of those teams and players pretty much as long as you've been in the Frisco League here.
Yeah, because of the timing of the Frisco League tournament, it's kind of hard to, all right, what do they bring back? What do they leave or miss? How have those guys progressed throughout the summer? And so preparing for the Frisco League tournament, it's kind of hard because, some teams don't even play a first game, so it's kind of hard for me to watch film on them at some point. So it's just trying to remember what they bring back, what's their style, do they have to change their style based on who they've missed or who they lost last year. Really, you know, I don't know. Sometimes how the tournament ends up being is not how it actually ends up at the end of the season being. So whatever the outcome is for us, we got to kind of just put our heads down and go, okay, and how do we progress off of this and just come back? And so it's hard to prepare for, but it's a good test at the beginning of the season.
Okay. And then any returning players from last year that are moving up from the JV freshman level that you're going to be looking at this year to add to some of the returning players that you've got?
Yeah, I got sophomore Ethan Evans. He was a guy who got varsity minutes last year, but now he is a full-time starter. So we'll rely upon his athleticism and playmaking abilities. I've got guys like a Tucker Jones. He came. He was my point guard last year for JV. He stepped up, and he's going to get some minutes. I have a starting freshman, Wes Jones, who was an 8th grader last year. He stepped up and will be another layer to our offense that it gives us another kick. Not a lot of guys or teams have seen him because he's a freshman, and so he may be a surprising player for some teams just because no one has seen him.
All right, appreciate it, and good luck in the First League tournament and the next couple weeks, sir.
Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks. We are here with Coach Tom Billner of the Crocker Lady Lions. And Coach Billner, coming in, you're going to face Newburgh now. What did you kind of get out of that game? Newburgh shot the ball very well, but what else did you kind of see?
Yeah, they did shoot the ball pretty well. They played either 3-2 zone or a 1-2-2 zone, depending on how you look at it. And the girls were really aggressive, and we're just going to go out ahead, play our game, and again, you see what happens.
All right, and then, so how's the season looking coming into this ball game here with all your girls? And I think you've had one game this season so far, too?
Two. Currently, we're 2-0. Our first game was against Union, Missouri, and they graduated everybody last year. So even though they were a Class 5 or 6 school, we played a really good game against them, made some shots. And then the next game was against Southern Boone, and we kind of struggled a little window in there for about 8 minutes not scoring, but we were able to go up there at Southern Boone and get a win.
All right, and who is a couple of your key players that has either moved up or some of your returning varsity players?
Well, Lexi Mintz, obviously our best scorer. She's 2 points from 1,000 points right now. So her first basket on Monday, she'll top 1,000 points. It'll be right at 1,000. And she's a good scorer. We have Gretchen Candy, a senior. She's a phenomenal shot blocker. I think last year she had like 70-something block shots. So she was real good. Hess Danielson was our point guard last year, and she's getting better at the role and understands it a little bit better. What experience brings you.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. We will talk to you on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And Allen Hilliard here. We are here with the Lakeway coach. Coming up playing later this year to start your season. Soccer just ended. You get a lot of the kids you didn't really have until literally a few weeks ago, right?
We've had 5 practices with probably 7 of our top 9 guys for our first game here.
And then, of course, soccer, making it to the Final Four before losing there, and a pretty good season there combining with Richland, which Lakeway no stranger to soccer. But coming into basketball season here, you're starting out the tournament today on Saturday, so you'll get an extra day to kind of look at some of the other teams. Is that an advantage or is that a disadvantage?
Well, for us, and this year with us, making it to the Final Four in soccer, which is a great thing. I love that we did that because I want to win at everything that we do. It's a bit of a disadvantage because we would have loved a couple extra days of practice. But, we're going to make do with it and do the best we can, and we'll see, let the results lie where they may.
And then looking at some of the tournament seedings here, did anything surprise you when things were sorted out, or is it kind of what you were expecting this season?
Preseason tournaments, you just never know how they're going to go because nobody really knows the full identity of their team. I think Dixon is really good. Stoughton's probably one of the best coached teams I've been been around and seen. So I feel like them being the 1 and the 2 seed are right, and then anywhere from there, I feel like the Frisco League is pretty competitive. So you could have flip-flopped it any way you wanted it to.
I've always said that Stoutland is the one team that no matter what they're seeded, they're still going to be in that top 4 somehow every year. And one year I think they both made it to the championship and they weren't even in the top 5.
Yeah, I was the girls coach at Stoutland when that happened. We were the 6th seed, and I believe the boys were the same. So they're coached really well over there. Joe Nicholson's probably one of the best coaches I've been around, so I think pretty highly of him.
All right, and any players that you're going to rely on this year that are returning, or any new players stepping up that is going to fill some shoes from last year?
I think Ryder Martin has a case to be probably one of the best players in the league. He'll be definitely in the conversation, God willing, staying healthy and everything. Isaiah Boggs can be an animal inside, real strong, athletic kid, can run the floor. Those are our 2 returners that I see big things from. And then Cole Story didn't get a lot of minutes last year, but that kid can shoot the lights out of the gym, and I think he'll step into a big role for us this year.
All right, appreciate it, Coach, and we'll talk to you later on.
Okay, thank you.
Auto Glass Central is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports for a couple of years now. Be sure to reach out to them on Facebook or give them a call for all your glass needs, whether it be windshields in cars or doors for your home. Auto Glass Central can help. Home Plate Grill in Dixon, Missouri is a proud sponsor of Allen Hilliard Sports, and a great place to eat. Grab a burger, grab some waffle fries. They have some of the best food in Pulaski County, located downtown Dixon. The Plato Athletic Booster Club is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Plato Eagles again this year, especially in the Frisco League tournament, during the basketball season, and during the spring. Be sure to check them out, Plato Athletic Booster Club, on Facebook to become a member. Roscoe's Ice Cream Truck in Iberia, Missouri is a supporter of the Iberia Rangers and Allen Hilliard Sports again this season. When you see them, be sure to stop by, grab a sweet treat in Iberia. Thank you from Allen Hilliard Sports. In Class 8, Cedar Ridge and Woodlawn will face off on December 4th at 7 p.m. So far, our State 2 championship games set are Cross Point and East Poinsett County in Class 2. And in Class 5 of Arkansas, Robinson and Lakeside will face off in the state championship on the 5th. Gasco Sage Electric is a proud supporter of the Dixon Bulldogs and all the schools in their district in Pulaski County, Missouri, along with Marys County and other locations throughout Missouri. Good luck to the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs this season from Gasco Sage Electric. G-Tech Fiber is built to last. Your local area internet run on Gasco Sage Electric power poles. Reach out to Gasco Sage Electric for all your G-Tech Fiber internet needs. Whether you live rural or in the city, they can provide internet. Chris Pills Basketball is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports, Pocahontas Redskins, and the area schools. Allen Hilliard Sports will once again be providing the coverage of the Waynesville Youth Football for grades kindergarten all the way to 6th grade this year, from week 1 all the way to the championship in November. Games will start first week of September. Be sure to reach out, WIF Football, if you'd like to play. In Class 6, it is Shiloh Christian and Greenwood facing off. And in Class 7, Bentonville and Bryant will face off in the state championship game. That'll be on December 5th at 6:30 p.m. And did you know you can stream all the Arkansas playoff games and the different games on the Arkansas Activities Association page of the NFHS Network? Be sure to check them out. It's a monthly subscription, but you get coverage nationwide of sports all the way across the U.S. Be sure to check out NFHS Network. So all the previously not mentioned Arkansas classes will have their semifinals this week, and we'll have them in next week's episode of the podcast. The Arkansas Activities Association believes that athletes are taught by many things through sports, in addition to the skills they learn: self-control, ideals of fair play, honesty, respect for authority, and for opposing players. To learn these values results in maximum benefits from his or her athletic experiences. Once again, thank you to the Arkansas Athletic Association, and good luck, Pocahontas Member School, Arkansas Activities Association.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You're still talking to your friend? It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
And the start of the Frisco League tournament this week was a busy one with a very good crowd. Newburgh started out defeating Plato in the girls' play-in game. Dixon Lady Bulldogs pulled off an upset over the Licking Lady Wildcats. And on the boys' side of things, it was Richland that advanced in overtime over Plato in the 8-9 seed to face the 1 seed Dixon Bulldogs. And in the 4-5 game, it was a big victory as the number 5 seed upset the number 4 seed that was Licking over Lakeway. So that is your update here. We'll have girls' night on Monday, boys on Tuesday. Then we'll have our championship and our consolation sides following that. Action Highway 28 is your local gas station for all your small grocery needs. Also, your Hunt's Brothers pizza provider, making it fresh in the store and keeping it warm under the lights for you. Multi flavors to choose from. You get 3 for $30. Also, all your snacks, chips, whatever you need, down to your beverages and down to your sweet snacks. Check out Dog Patch. The Dixon School District has been a sponsor of Allen Hilliard Sports for many years now and continues to provide sponsorship. They have 3 state-of-the-art schools, including a high school, middle school, and an elementary school, all in Dixon, Missouri, serving the Dixon and St. Robert area children. Be sure to check them out at their new admin building on the corner downtown, just off of Main Street, the Dixon School District, Dixon, Missouri. And again, I want to thank you for joining us on this week's Coaches Show. It's been a pleasure having you on. Be sure to check us out on YouTube for all the coverage of live sports, highlights, coaches interviews, lots of stuff to check out on there. And again, thank you for joining us from Allen Hilliard Sports. It has been a pleasure. I hope you have a great day and enjoy your holidays. Security Bank is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports, and they are the main supporter this year and sponsor of all broadcasts with Allen Hilliard Sports. They've been around since World War II through the thick and the thin, supporting the Waynesville-St. Robert community through all these years of growth, and continue to support the Waynesville-St. Robert community through 2 locations in Waynesville and St. Robert, one in downtown by the courthouse, the other location in St. Robert. Be sure to check out Security Bank of Pulaski County for all your banking needs. They are member FDIC, whether it be car loan, house loan, they can make it happen. Again, thank you, Security Bank, for all your support. And Security Bank wishes the best for all the Tigers and Lady Tigers this season in all their competitions, whether it be arts or athletics. Again, Security Bank of Pulaski County, 2 convenient locations.
You've been knocked down and got up.